Tonight, Wanderer. We step into a different kind of Thanksgiving. Not the warm dinner table, not family gatherings, but the shadows hiding behind America's favorite holiday. The stories that never appear in history books, the disappearances, the legends, the mysteries that chilled entire towns. So sit close to the fire and listen carefully to 4 Thanksgiving mysteries that continue to haunt America.
Story 1, Flight 967, The Vanished Thanksgiving Plane. The year was 1969, Thanksgiving week, when families gathered around warm tables and a quiet flight lifted off into the night. Eastern Airlines, Flight 967. It was supposed to be simple, routine. New Orleans to Dallas, a short hop across the American South, but somewhere in the darkness, Flight 967 vanished. No distress call, no emergency signal, just silence. At 9:14 p.m., radar controllers watched a clean path, altitude steady, speed normal. Then, a flicker, a blink, and the plane disappeared from radar entirely, as if it had been erased. Minutes later, air traffic control attempted contact. Nothing, only static, soft, cold, and unbroken. Families waiting in Dallas received the first horrifying updates. Flight 967 is missing. When search teams finally found the crash site, the scene was wrong, very wrong. The debris field was too small, too compact, almost as if the aircraft came apart before hitting the surface. And something even stranger. The cockpit voice recorder was missing, not damaged, not destroyed, missing. Investigators said it was impossible. Recorders are bolted into steel frames, built to survive explosions, fire, and crushing impacts. But on Flight 967, the recorder simply vanished, like the plane itself. Then came the detail that turned this disappearance into pure mystery. Passenger logs revealed that one man boarded with a false identity, a forged name, a fake address, a seat purchased with cash. Investigators later determined he had no intention of landing. Worse, they found no remains matching his seat, no luggage, no trace. Some believe he planted an explosive device. Others claim he hijacked the plane, rerouted it, and escaped. And a few whisper that Flight 967 encountered something stranger, something the stars swallowed whole that night. To this day, no full explanation exists, just an empty recorder rack, a missing passenger, and a Thanksgiving flight that never made it home. Story 2. The Jamison family, a Thanksgiving vanishing. In Latimer County, Oklahoma, the Jamison family planned a quiet Thanksgiving, but instead, they walked into the woods and vanished without a trace. Bobby, Sherilyn, and their little daughter, Madison, gone. The last recording of the Jamisons is disturbing. A silent security video, filmed outside their own home, shows the family moving back and forth between their truck and house, over and over, dozens of times, wordless, mechanical, as if in a trance. No talking, no communication, just motion. Some researchers claim the family looked drugged. Others think they were packing for a sudden emergency. And some say the 3 appeared to be following orders. A week later, their truck was found deep in the woods. Inside, all their belongings, their wallets, IDs, phones, GPS, even $32,000 cash hidden under a seat. But no Jamisons. To leave everything behind and vanish into the forest didn't make sense. A mother wouldn't leave her daughter's coat, A father wouldn't abandon his phone. No one would walk away from $32,000 unless something scared them or someone forced them. Theories swirled like winter fog, cult activity. Some claimed the family was targeted by a local group known for odd rituals in the woods, paranormal presence. Friends said their home was haunted. Objects moved on their own. Bobby once asked a pastor if spirits could harm a family. Human danger. The Jamisons had disputes with neighbors and family members, people investigators never fully cleared. And then, the creepiest theory of all. They walked away as if following someone, something out of frame of the camera. When their skeletal remains were found years later, no cause of death could be determined. A Thanksgiving that should have been warm became one of America's coldest mysteries. Story 3, The Black Friday Ghost Town, The Curse of Dudleytown. Deep in the cold forests of Connecticut, surrounded by steep hills and ancient trees that block out nearly all daylight, lies a place people now call Dudleytown. A town that, on paper, shouldn't even exist anymore. Most maps removed it, most locals refused to speak about it, and those who do always end their sentences with the same warning. Don't go there, especially around Thanksgiving, because the town's darkest legends always seem to resurface in late November. The origin goes back to the Dudley family, who settled there in the 1700s. Some say the Dudleys carried a curse from England, a bloodline stained by betrayal and executions. When they came to America, the curse followed. Soon after the town was built, people began to vanish. Not disappear, vanish. No footprints, no sounds, just gone. Families claimed they saw dark figures slipping between the trees, watching from the edge of the forest, and the forest itself seemed wrong. Birds refused to sing. Animals avoided the valley. By the mid-1800s, Dudleytown had become a place where men lost their minds overnight. Children saw shadow people near the well. Women woke up screaming about a pale figure standing at the foot of their bed. The town was abandoned, piece by piece, until nothing remained but cellars, rotting foundations, and woods thick enough to smother sound. Every year, around Thanksgiving, people attempt to explore the ruins, and every year, something strange happens. Phones die without warning. Compasses spin in circles. Voices echo when no one is speaking. Some hikers swear they hear footsteps behind them, even when the ground is frozen solid, leaving no prints. And there is one story, the one Reddit users always bring up, about a group of college students exploring Dudleytown the day after Thanksgiving. They were laughing, filming, joking about the town being cursed. But the footage they uploaded later was different. Their voices sounded muffled. The environment felt darker than it should have been. And at the very end of the video, slowed down frame by frame, you can see something standing between the trees. Tall, black, almost human, but not quite. Arms too long, head tilted unnaturally, no face. When viewers pointed it out, the students deleted their account. No explanation, no follow-up, just silence, and the dark shape, frozen forever in those few seconds of footage. To this day, locals say that whatever haunts Dudleytown becomes most active around Thanksgiving weekend, when people enter the woods with warm breath, bright lights, and curiosity. And curiosity in Dudleytown is always punished. Story 4, The Thanksgiving Calling, The Woman Who Knocked at Midnight. This story comes from an old Reddit post, long deleted now, but fragments were saved by users who still talk about it every Thanksgiving. A man wrote that he lived alone in a quiet suburban neighborhood. No crime, no trouble, nothing out of the ordinary, except for one night, Thanksgiving Eve, when someone knocked on his door at exactly midnight. Not loud, not rushed, just steady. Knock, knock, knock. He froze. Because nobody visits at midnight on Thanksgiving Eve, he checked the peephole, and what he saw made his chest tighten. A woman, wearing an old-fashioned coat, pale, hair damp from the cold November fog. But what struck him most was her expression. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't upset. She wasn't confused. She looked empty, emotionless, like someone wearing a face they hadn't fully figured out how to use. He didn't open the door, but instead he whispered, "Can I help you?" The woman tilted her head, slowly, as if trying to understand the question. Then she said, in a calm, flat voice, "Is this where the family lives?" He asked, "Which family?" She didn't answer. She just kept staring, unblinking, as the porch light flickered. He stepped back from the door, fear creeping up his spine. And then she spoke again. "I used to live here." But the house was only 12 years old. New development, no previous structures, no previous residents. So he replied, "This home wasn't here back then." The woman blinked, the first time he saw her do it. And then she whispered, "It was." He backed away, heart pounding. She knocked once more, soft, almost gentle. Then she said something he never forgot. "Tell them I'm still looking." He didn't sleep that night, and by the time morning came, she was gone, leaving no footprints in the frost. The next day, Thanksgiving morning, he asked around the neighborhood. One elderly neighbor, after hearing the details, went pale. She said, "This land, before they built the houses, was where the Harrington family farmhouse stood. They vanished on Thanksgiving, 1923, all of them. No bodies found. The only witness said a woman was seen walking the road for days, calling for them." The man felt sick because the neighbor ended with this, and her description matches the woman people said they saw, knocking on doors, asking for families, for years after they disappeared. He moved out 6 months later. Every Thanksgiving Eve, at midnight, someone still knocks on doors in that neighborhood. Always gentle, always patient, always asking the same question. "Is this where the family lives?" And some swear, if you listen closely, you can hear her walking away, calling for them in the fog.
Thanksgiving is a holiday of warmth, of family, of light. But in the quiet corners of November, some shadows linger. Some disappearances remain unsolved. Some forests whisper. And some voices reach out from places no human hand can touch. Thank you, wanderer, for stepping into the silence with me tonight. Until we meet again, stay close to the fire, and remember, not all mysteries wait for Halloween. Some come home for Thanksgiving.